They do surgery in the capital to make people appear younger and thinner. In District 12, looking old is something of an achievement since so many people die early. You see an elder person, you want to congratulate them on their longevity. Ask the secret of survival. A plump person is envied because they aren't scraping by like the majority of us. But here in the capital, it's different. Wrinkles aren't desirable. A round belly isn't a sign of success. From the Hunger Games. This quote describes a small difference in the lives of those among us, those among District 12 and those among the capital. Within the book The Hunger Games, Katniss is a part of a class within the series that is constantly discriminated against. This means they are a means to an end and just a tool used for the gains of the capital. They are given no rights and no respect within their own home and are vulnerable to abuse at any given moment. This is a pretty harsh example of class warfare. However, this is a struggle that still most definitely exists in the modern world today. My goal of this speech is to open people's eyes to the struggle of class warfare so that we can see and understand how difficult it is and how can it affect each one of us. Class warfare is defined as conflict between different classes in a community resulting from different social or economic positions and reflecting opposed interests. Or in the Marcus thought, it is a struggle for political and economic power carried on between capitalists and workers. That's from dictionary.com. A good way to think about this is like a caste system. All of us have learned that about different castes, probably in places like ancient Egypt. With the rise of class society came a division into differing layers of people, castes and classes from Marxist.com. Societies in general developed these caste systems in modern times as well. They have never gone away. They just might not be so clear to us in the modern society, but if you investigate, it's not very hard to see at all. This caste system also relates to Katniss's life in the Hunger Games, and that each series, each district is essentially a different caste. And in a way, the higher your district number, the lesser your worth to the capital is. In every society in the modern world, you can spot class warfare, especially if you really know what you're looking for. A good example from the USA Today in recent years is when a sanitation worker in Atlanta suburb was jailed for showing up too early, and that's from Salem.com. A man showed up at his job a couple hours earlier than he was supposed to be to collect trash. He did that so he wouldn't be in too much of a rush when he was at work. Because of this, somehow the owner of the company managed to get this man sentenced to a month in prison for his crimes. They claimed that a fine wasn't punishment enough for showing up early. This is what a good chunk of class warfare in the USA looks like today. It simply exists because of the power and influence some people have over others. Someone was able to use their own power to not only get somebody fired from his job, but go to jail for doing his job as well. In the Hunger Games, there are multiple instances with District 12 where Katniss goes hunting. To do this, she has to go past an electric fence because it is illegal for them to leave their district. However, the risk of being caught is worth it for Katniss because she needs to feed herself as well as her family. When she goes into the woods, she is harming nobody. She is simply trying to supply her family with what they need. When she goes in the... But since the capital can say you can't do that, every time she goes, she is risking her own life and tracking and killing a bunny, for example. She herself could potentially be killed as well. Some people would say it's not between the rich and the poor, but between the political class and the rest of the citizenry who bear the brunt of political power and pay the price in lost liberty, property, and opportunity, and that's from Forbes.com. This is a view that is more than definitely prominent in modern society. With how today's society works, I don't think it's hard for most of us to imagine how this could affect our lives today, especially in a place like North Korea, for example, where you are being led by somebody who has complete control of most of your everyday life. The Hunger Games is a perfect example of this definition of the issue. The whole book and series are about getting back the basic freedoms that were taken by the capital and other stronger districts. People that live in places like District 12 have no chance because of their lack of any political power. Essentially, only the capital has any political power, and they decide what happens to just about everything and everyone. With their power, they more than take away people's liberty, property, and opportunity. Sure, class warfare is terrible, as I keep implying to you all, but it isn't the worst thing in the world, not all the time anyways. What people that know about the struggle should realize is that in the end there's always hope. Tom W. Smith states, "But they believe it is not a permanent cast, but a transitory condition. The real game changer would be if they give up on that," and that's from New York Times. People can typically work and move out of their current state within these caste systems we see today. A huge discrimination revolves around your own economic standing, and that is something that anyone should be able to improve for themselves. With the right work ethics, anyone should be able to raise themselves higher than they are today. Another thing to realize is that just because someone has more money than someone else, or has different beliefs, or maybe even more power than others, this does not mean they are part of the problem. "I'm not angry at rich people," said Smith 51. "I am angry at people who manipulate the system," and that's from CNN.com. There are way too many good people out there to just instantly throw everyone under the bus. There is still plenty of good among the wealthiest among us, and what they do. There's still plenty of good they do that help us in the struggle of our lives. It's not fair to say everyone wealthier than you is just out to get you. There is and always will be good in this world. However, sadly that means there's going to be evil somewhere else as well. I hope in the end of this all, you understand what class warfare is, and how it can affect our everyday society. It's a struggle unknowingly seen by so many every day, and I believe it's time we finally open our eyes to it. One great way to get aware of the issue is by following this quote. "But we hope you feel as we do, that we have to make sense of the world if we're going to have a chance at making it a better place." And that's from theguardian.com. Understanding what is happening around us is key in being able to make informed decisions about our own lives. We can't be ignorant to that which is right in front of us any longer. Not one single person is going to stop this issue. It must be something done together in unison all around. Thank you for listening to my speech. I hope you find it useful in your upcoming years of your life.